Welcome back to Railroads Online. I am Rever. And once again, as often happens, we are down here by the sawmill because everything starts with the sawmill and Railroads Online. I guess it technically starts with the logging camp up over that way. But we have a large trip to take today. I was talking at the end of the last episode about getting iron down to the iron works, and I thought about it more. I said, well, it's really kind of skipping ahead. The only reason we're able to do that at this moment is because I've already gone through everything. Really, the next step would be to go to the coal mine so that we can get coal ready as well, right? So it's sort of like you need coal and the smelter to get the ironworks going. So I thought, well, let's do that. We're already down here. We have the train with the 13 cars on it. So I brought it over just from the last episode. It was parked over there in the grand intersection. And so I have come to here and loaded up 10 of the cars with beams. Happens to just work out that we now have 100 lumber and 100 beams. I mean, it's, I just loaded beams, so to get to that exact number, and I did actually waste one because I don't know, it's a little bit harder to park with that, the tender up there is not the length of a car exactly, so it was a little harder to see the lines, and even though it looked like it should have put it on the right car, it didn't. So I lost one beam before I moved things. And I wanted to point out the reason I ran down here, amongst others, is I'm not loading up I didn't put 3 in a row because we can only put 20 rails up there. So if I were to pull up, no matter which way I pulled up, the one way that I pull up, I wouldn't unload any beams first. I forget exactly which way we're going to go in there. So this way, if I did unload 2 cars of rails that have 10 each, I'm then going to unload at least a few beams, most likely, before I get to this cart, right? Which will have another 10 rails on it. It wasn't that hard to just skip one at that point. And then that way I know when I'm up there, I'm just unloading. Probably took me more time to explain it than there was any benefit to it, but that's how I think ahead too much sometimes. So I flipped our flipper switch. I should have probably hopped in here to see. No, we don't have any water temperature. Now this one holds 80 firewood, I've learned. And if I throw right at the top of there, I seem to be pretty good to go. And I did figure out how to put water in it, which doesn't sound too hard, but I didn't realize it was back here. So unlike the other train, and then I thought this was it at first. And you can kind of stick your head in this thing, in case you guys haven't, if you're careful, you can just get your head in it. See, that's sand right there. So, and then if you look, there's even little pipes that come out of it that go down to the wheels. That would be the sanding thing. So I did figure that out. I just didn't dawn on me that it would be in here. Then the more I thought about it, it's well, it's got to be somewhere. So glad I did that off camera to not embarrass myself. So we should be completely full of water. We're getting our fire temperature up. I have the thing flipped. We have a little bit of pressure. We could probably get going. Put our thing in forward and see if we can't get moving. Now, I did notice so maybe an issue with this cart going around this turn. It was a little bit jumpy, I guess you could say. I'm not sure. Certainly one more reason to redo this area is if that's going to cause a problem. Now, it didn't. Nothing derailed. No real excitement. But I did notice that tender, jump dramatically at one point. So there we go. We seem to be making it. So theoretically, this is our longest train. And if you want to keep the balance, you kind of need to do these 13 cars because you have it's the first multiple of 3 and 10, right? So in other words, in other cases, you can do 1 and 3, 1 beams or 1 whatever, and 3 of the other. Which one is that? That's the, the logs is 1-to-1 at the sawmill. Or the iron mine, I mean. And then, I forget what I'm thinking of. I know there's another one that has a different ratio. Hopefully we get our water pressure up here before we get out. I did flip all the switches. Our rail siding is completely empty. That's all right. We'll improve that you know, we'll have other trades. We only have around 2,400 buckaroos, so we're not flushed with money, but you know, we've got a few trips to make up to the coal mine. Speaking of the coal mine, I believe, if I'm correct, that I still have 37 coal up there, and we are going to need 150 coal because we need to make 150 tools and steel pipes. So each one of these trips is going to get us 30. So it should be about 4 more trips should get me the right amount. So, or 4 trips total. So this will be 1 trip of 30 if I get 120. Now that's also assuming that I wrote down the right amount the last time I was up there. Might end up being 5 trips you would have to make to get 200 barrels of oil. And this is a pretty long trip, right? We have to go stop at 2 places. We should have, well, let's take a look at the map when we get to the smelter and let me speed things up and I'll talk to you on the downhill. Definitely has more powerful braking capability here, which would make sense, a heavier locomotive. And we also have our compressor, so we do have air brakes. In theory, you would have them on your rail cars. You can see that the air pressure drops each time. Now, not really going too fast, but let me, I don't know that all the cars are even on the hill yet. Probably about now they are. So this is definitely a bit faster than I was going. Now this is about where I'd set the brakes on the other, and you could, oh, look at that. Okay, let's set the brakes. Well, I was definitely trying to slow down more. Not that I did, but it was definitely the effort, huh? I guess in some ways this isn't the end of the world. We can probably plop them right here and they'll go down and hit the thing, right? The problem is if I plop them without the brakes on. Yeah, let's get the brakes. Well, I guess we have to put this guy on first, huh? And I don't think I'm going to be able to get the brake on him. That's all right. We'll see. Too fast for conditions, I guess. Yeah, that turn is definitely. Now let's see. I can't see. All right, this has to be switched. A left hold. Will you? There you go. I got it right. Now let's see. Can we get up there and? I don't want to slam it in there too hard. Can't really see that well. Seems to be keeping me moving. Yeah, that'll be a problem, won't it? And especially that thing is a little bit hard to. Can I jump up there from here now? Yeah, that's not going to make this the best place to do this. I guess we could like let them all down the hill. See if I could set that, or if it's just going to be impossible. Let's see, I crouch. Yeah, I think I need to get down the hill. And I think I lost my link thing there too. Let's see if we can't get a link in this one. There you go. All right, so these we're going to have to try to get the brake set first if we can, and then we can let them go. But I want to see. Oops. Why do we still have tender to rerail? Oh, that's not going to do it. Right mouse button to exit. Yeah. Okay. All right, so I already have a link in the other side, so let me just drop that guy. Yeah, get this link out of here. There we go. Well, this is one way to do it, like soapbox derby. There you go. One down. I hope it's some of the other ones aren't. Are they all derailed, or is it just this first couple? Well, this is definitely unplanned. Yeah, so this guy seems like he's still on. Let's get his brakes going. Maybe the one behind it, just for the sake of. Yeah, so definitely, I've thought about fixing this, and I just need to go slower for now until I do. I'm trying to get through. I'm assuming that it was that, and people have talked about this before too. Okay, we need to stop this guy to see about links. Yeah, let's go see up front. Yeah, we don't have a link there, but we have a link here. So let's do that. And I might as well do this. There you go. All right, is that guy off? Yeah, I think as I go, let me leave this guy on 100, right? So we'll just keep working our way up the line. So that one has a link. So when we put this guy back on, we should not have a link on that one direction. Yeah, so I don't think this guy has any link in him. Get better. That's quite the dead stop, huh? Sure, that would have been causing damage, but there we go. So now we got. I did leave that on. Yep. All right, so we should be able to. Oh, we got one more. All right, so we didn't have a link in this one. So let's see. We could always work it out. Yeah, no link. So we do have a link. Ooh. That was awful hard hit. So let's see, is this... There you go. It says we're hit. We're locked. Now, these should all be on it. Yeah, so that was just a little bit too much, huh? Or something's going on there. I mean, we took a lot of trains over this spot, but in the very beginning, I think we were having that problem. I should have looked for my link. I don't think we have one in this. No link. So we're good to go. So we should be able to just drive this guy down there, or we'll have to back up. Let's just see if... Oh, he's rolling on his own. Even with 2 locks, brakes lock. Yeah, we're just going to have to redo that. And I may do that after we get this load up here. I mean, I'm feeling like we're... Oh, stay on. Well, that's some rigid physics there. You would think it would push it at least a little bit. Probably would have actually destroyed stuff in real life, right? Yeah, so I think that's... I'm just want to double check. No brakes there. This is a fairly long train when you got to check everything, isn't it? There we go. So we're in good shape. No brakes on. Just got to figure out which one of these was the last one we... It's further down, I think. There we go. Right, I already undid these. That's what I was doing. Yeah. So I think that's all of them, but we will check. All of the brakes, that is. All right, how are we doing on heat? Yeah, so that was definitely a decoupling of this first. Now, I'm not, like, is there something different about that tender? And I have heard a few complaints, people saying their tenders are... Oh. It's, well, that's right, yeah. You want to kind of remember this part now. 16 brake should be... Yeah, so what do we do? What I was thinking of just really redoing this whole thing, like the whole project from all the way down there. Let's see how we do with this turn too, because I was thinking of trying to bring it closer this way and then like kind of loop it around so that the bridge isn't quite so big. Not that I think it's issue, but let's stop well before this and get out and throw this on so I can then pull a little bit further ahead and get that thing out. Are you... Yeah, see, that's not... It's too close. It's pushing down that hill, so I need to go far enough away. Get another set of brakes on it. It's chasing me. Hopefully that'll hold it. It seems to be. Let's try to just go back a tiny bit. I think everything else should be attached. I didn't really hear the connected noise. Well, let's see what happens. I don't like that there's a link stuck out of there. I don't know how that... I mean, how are we attached if the link... Yeah, see, something's going on there that... Let's get that. Pull that out. Now, why is there a link? Do we have to put a link thing in here? It says add pin, but I can't really tell if we're adding a pin. So like we got that link out of there. Let's just see. Will we just glide backwards? Yes. All right, let's see. There you go. That's the noise we needed. A little confusing, that whole thing. In part because it's something we've never done. So let's see if we're going to be able to... How's our signals? Our signals should be good for going in here. Are we all back together? And like I said, I do want to make some big, nice construction projects, but I was hoping to not have to break up this too much, like I already did. You know, get the 200 barrels of oil is certainly my goal. At the same time, I know those of you who watched the last part of this know that we fixed the spot down here, so I don't want to be too long in getting out a we fixed it kind of video. So we're going to go around this way. We should have plenty of, like, everything. I know this is terribly slow. I'm not sure it's... Oh, because I still probably have brakes on, don't I? Yeah, I still have brakes on. I really wish we could hop out and do things. Yeah, it should just be these two. There we go. So was it just a matter of too fast? I mean, I was definitely wanting and feeling uncomfortable knowing, and if you guys have ever watched, well, I'm sure you have, some of you at least, you know, whenever you see me going around that turn, I'm always looking behind me to make sure all the cars don't bust loose, or at least some of them don't bust loose. So I know that that turn is not a good turn. And I think I could get away with it if we just don't go so fast down that hill. But we'll see. Time will tell. If it just keeps happening every time, then I'll... It's like I said, I have 4 more trips or 3 more trips to make with the same exact load. One of the reasons I want to get it done right now and get this going so that I can... It's going to be quite a while, and I have some time today to get all this driving done. All right, so we need rails. I don't know how well our marks are going to be for stopping at the second car, but we're going to do what we have to do. See, I see a mark up here. Let's take the brake off so we slide. The part of the problem is this tender is not the same length as one of these cars exactly. So if you're trying to pull up, you can't stop right there. I did try to get away with that. So you kind of have to judge like that right there. Jump over this side. See this mark right there? Like, so I'm a little bit too far forward, which shouldn't matter too much, right? There we go. Okay, at least we have a mark. And I don't really want to mark it for... I hope I don't delete these. That's awful close. Oh, good. It went in. Usually if they go in once, it's pretty consistent. But you see how a little bit, you know, we're down this end of the thing. And these things are not... I kind of wish they would give you a target. And I understand they want to make it realistic, but... Even if you could just hit a special key just to see real quick that you're lined up, you know, which car it's going to end up in. But looking at it more, yeah, we're good enough. All right, well, let me load this up, and I'll pull forward and load up that other one, too. And that'll give me a chance to go get a cup of tea, and I will talk to you guys when we're ready to pull out. Okay, we are fully loaded and ready to go. We got these two cars. Definitely a pain. And here's... I think sometimes these devs are just mean. So why wouldn't you make these two line up? If you look, we're like dead in the middle. So like they've deliberately put it so that this is just not in the spot. So this could maybe move forward a foot or less to be in the middle of this one. Now what I did was I just pulled up and stopped so that we were in the middle of that one, because much like I did at the sawmill, everything on this side further away, right, is for the further away loading. So I've gone and made marks as best I could, you know, so that we can now help line up, because it's already hard enough with this locomotive being that little bit longer. You just don't have that perfect line of sight to say I'm there. Then I had to do this. Now the other thing I noticed is we were actually really kind of struggling to get up this hill. I don't know what the slope of this hill is. I just kind of hit whatever it was. So let's see if we can... Oh, you know what? Let's get some more fire going. It's a pretty long trip, and it'll take our... It's a bit of a waste of firewood, but you know, it'll get us going for longer. Let's see. Yeah, it was definitely slipping pretty good right there on this hill. Now I was stopping and kind of doing the herky-jerky there to try to get lined up on this, so it was... I definitely want to go slow and see what... This is our turn that we just redid in the last segment. It's a 30-degree turn, so we should... I want to see how smoothly this works out for this train. I don't see anything at this slow speed that's... You know, definitely going up and down a hill there, but there's not too much we can do. That's definitely a case where you want to do terrain deformation, right? Just a little bit, even if it was costly. There we go. Well, we made it through it, so I'm not sure that, you know, not sure. And I did throw our switches. Now, one of the debates for the way back is, do we come in here where our switches are all thrown? Because we're going to have to stop on that hill. And do we throw these switches to go back up there, or do we just pull right in here, load up the 3, and then head back out? I'm not sure that there's any right answer. It's certainly dragging 3 extra cars up the hill, you know, but the problem with any time you seem to have a consist like this that's different materials, it's certainly going to be some more switch throwing and stopping at certain intersections to go to the other place to get those things. Not other materials, right? You can bring lumber and beams, that doesn't matter, but you have to pick up from 2 different locations. Now, I think it's worth it in this case because otherwise we can only store 20 beams up there, so I'm not sure how you would really do that, right? Like, you just to be able to put only 20 beams in is a bit of a pretty big issue as far as how you would take a train up there in a different way. All right, that switch is thrown right, which is good because really look. Yeah, and that one's thrown right. This one's thrown right. All right, so let's give it some juice to get up this bit of a hill right here. slowing down. Now, I'd like to conduct a little bit of a test. I know I didn't do the first part of the test with you guys. It's pretty good. I want to see... I'm pretty sure I didn't flip this switch on the way back down. This is the switch that I keep talking about that I don't always show you guys because it's sort of in the middle of this trip, but rather than stop here and run all the way up the hill, I'm just going to see if we can't get up there and flip the switch, stop, flip the switch, and then go from there. This is at least a little bit of a flat spot to get a running start. Not sure how much. Pretty well. We have some money to cut some of those trees that keep getting in my face. See, I'm almost certain that this switch right here, right up here, is got the wrong way. Alright, so I think we're just as well off stopping here. So with the Porter number 2, just the other day, I was able to get out. Now, if I did get out right here, it would actually start rolling back down the hill. So, right off the bat, this definitely has more powerful brakes. All right, so there we go. So I should have flipped that on the way back down. I just completely forgot. And let's see. Now, the Porter number 2, I don't know if it could have pulled all these up. It pulled 5 other cars, but let's just see. We're going to give it the full gas. Get off the brake. No, we're going to give it the full. Well, it's at least as powerful as the Porter number 2. Lose any cars for that maneuver. We're in pretty good shape. There's a few spots on this trail that might cause us problems, but this is going to be the steepest spot right there. I'm thinking that we're going to run that further this way, loop around, come back, branch off to this, and then get rid of that real tight turn. Oh, shoot. I don't know if I'm going to ever catch that. Yeah, we're breaking links. Yeah, that's going to be a mess. That's going to be a mess. Well, I guess the best thing to do is going to be to just back down there. I bet you if we had hit, I don't know. I don't think there's a particular reason we should have lost cars there. Obviously, we stopped on that hill, but we started and we pulled up like kind of fine. So what am I doing? Re-rail. Yeah, we're going to have to try to... Yeah, let me... Come on. It'll be a little tricky hooking back up to him. Yeah, these links, I don't know. I've never had so many problems. And I don't fully understand. I mean, I understand we were on a hill and whatnot, but I don't think, I mean, I've pulled up that hill a lot of times. The number of link issues I've had in the last few episodes, it just makes me wonder. just really makes me wonder. It's taken up a lot of time in our episodes as far as that goes. Yeah, so can we stop gently enough not to knock this guy all the way down the hill? Not exactly the best place. Oops, we're doing reverse. We're doing forward and reverse, and we're still going backwards. It shouldn't be that much of a hill right here. And you can't tell me that was... I mean, if you're saying that that was because I have this locomotive... I mean, it was things were breaking easier than before with the other locomotive. Is that because of those splines? Like, are they changing this stuff in a way that's... Or did they nerf the couplings and not mention it? Anything's possible. Now, some people have been talking about breaking links and having a lot of problems on the... This definitely has better brakes. I just want to stop it slightly, at the same kind of speed that that thing is. And we can maybe get it relinked without... I didn't check that there was a link in there, did I? No, but there was. Good. All right, so that's the brakes. I don't think we have brakes on these. No. We leave the brakes on this car. Reverser, I don't think we need that. I think we just need... All right, well, let me go find these things. I'm just going to cut the video until let's see if they're at the bottom of the hill all smashed up. If they're not, it means they're all the way down by the smelter, probably. In a pile by the entrance of the smelter. All right, I'll see you when I find them. Okay, well, there they are. They somehow didn't derail, which is kind of amazing. Now, I'm sort of surprised that I caught up with them still moving backwards. I'm wondering if... Did they go up to that hill and then roll back after that, I guess? Oh, they went all the way around, and then they bumped into this. I guess this is fine. Let's take the brake off, and I don't see why I can't chase them around this way since they're heading that way anyhow. Yeah, this is a mess. I really don't think that that's something I did. I've taken multiple trips in the past with the same consist, and it doesn't make much sense to me that we'd be breaking it off because we were using a different train. And I've stopped on that hill. Maybe I didn't stop on that hill with this 13 car load, and maybe that's the difference. And I definitely took the 13 car load up there. It didn't have any issues. So I'm not sure what's going on 100%. But obviously, I mean, I'm sitting there talking about redoing that turn, and that is where we had the problems. So it's sort of certainly was I going a little bit faster than maybe the porter was able to in the past? So I had just happened to go around that turn slow enough, not because of my own skill, but because of the limits of the porters. Maybe this is actually giving you more torque, which makes it just easier to bust those kind of things. Let's see. I'm going to try to jump out and catch the brakes on this guy. All right, let's do it on 2 cars since that's not stopping. All right, now do we have a link here? Yes. So let's try this again. Of course, because what else are we going to do? It's either that or quit playing the game. So let's try. Well, I guess we could bring less cars with us as a possibility. We don't have to do. Do I need more fire? Yeah, I do. Okay, hopefully that's. Can definitely be tricky getting these on this hill like that. There we go. All right, so we're reconnected. Let's take the brakes off, right? Yeah, there's no reason to believe any of these shouldn't be fully connected. Let's go get some fire put back in this guy. Yeah, definitely get disoriented. One, two, three. Put the rest back. Guess we could try to. I'm going to just wait. I'll come right back in a minute when we're fully ready to go. All right, let's try this again. We're in reverse, but let's go in forward. Our water temperature just got up. Boiler pressure is still building, but it'll be there. All right, it's fully full. Yeah, so let's see. I definitely welcome any suggestions. If this happens again, because this was definitely a major pain in the butt, having them go all the way back down, we are going to definitely redo that intersection. Now, the other good thing is I'm going to have to take, like I said, 3 more round trips after this. And that's definitely going to lead to, if I keep having an issue, I will get that fixed in our Fix It episode, which might be a good thing to do. If nothing else, I think it's unrealistic stopping on that hill to flip that switch. And if we ever did try to get longer loads, I think that would really be impossible at that point. Let's make sure everybody's coming with us. One thing about having different stuff on it's a little easier to see if everything's with us. I think it is. Yeah, so we have like what, 2 and then 4 and 4. Sort of the setup on our wood there. So the good news is I was a little I've never really taken this Moogle very far. So the good news is that it pulled up that hill quite nicely. There's no reason we're going to have an issue with that. And that's pretty steep stuff there. That's no joke. But if it tells me that if we wanted to use it to go get iron ore, we'll have no problems. If we get past this one spot, I don't think we're going to have problems either. But do I have brakes on? This is a pretty steep spot to get it. I'm going to check. I don't like the way it's pulling. No brakes there. And I'm not familiar enough with it, so let's just make sure that I'm not. No. after all that goofiness, I think it's worth the extra minute or two. This is a long train. Nope. All right, that's just what it does. And that is a pretty steep part, so it's not unexpected in some ways. All right, I'm going to give it a little more flame because if this works, I definitely don't want to stop. We're already stopped. Let's. All right, off we go. Keep an eye on it by looking backwards the whole time. Give it 100%. Yeah, they're definitely jiggling right in that. Oh, there it goes. Yep. Great. I get down there fast enough. Oh, I'm running the wrong way. Come on. Oh no, I'm not running as fast as it is. All right. Well, there you go. We just can't make it. Goodbye. Well, I'm not going to put you guys through the torture. I think we need to redo this intersection. So that's another segment that's going to be a long segment. I'm going to go do this on my other video. So there'll be a video coming up where we fix that thing down there. I will probably back this guy back down and then go get it. And then I'll come. Well, I don't know. I'll at least back him back down off of this and then I'll do it. So what you'll see when we come back is that what I plan on doing is kind of taking this, right, where we kind of have a bit of a straightaway right here. Take that straightaway further this way. All right, get rid of all of this and then have like a switch somewhere over here that we turn and go up this way or can go straight. So this is going to come up the less steep part over here. So in other words, you can see this is really where it gets steep and tight turn. So we're going to kind of we're just going to have the train tracks come straight up here and then loop around. Like if you look here, this is not nearly as steep. You know, we can come right out this way and then loop around. Okay, Well, there you go. I will be back in a few minutes, and hopefully we'll make this trip. I'll be back down by the smelter, I guess. All right. See you guys in a little bit. No, we're back again. I have rebuilt that intersection, and I also wanted to chase down the cars. So I figured, well, they probably will end up here, and we've lost a car. And the oddest thing is that it's one of the last cars, right? Like, I don't know if you remember me commenting that we were in a certain order where we had the two, and then the four, and then we had one, and then four more, right? So like two beam cars, we need 10 of them, plus four is six, plus three is nine. So there is no other rail car down here. How these three got down here, I have no idea. But we're breaking links like it's going out of style. So let's go and head on up. I'm just going to keep heading to the coal mine, and we'll make the imbalance correct one way or the other. I think we can bring one less or beams car. I kind of hate to do that, but let's put this back and forward. We should be good to go to head all the way up to the coal mine right now. We're sort of running out of time with the big fiasco that's going on. I really don't know what to blame it on. Obviously, I think a lot of you have seen me drive these same tracks without issues. So I'm a little bit hesitant to say it's just my bad tracks. Of course, there's always a human tendency to want to blame things on other people. But like I said, this isn't completely unproven territory, and the issues that I seem to be having don't really appear to have anything to do with the locomotive per se. So I don't know. Just one of those days, I suppose. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is it has been, a fair amount of time since I have been running these particular tracks. So it's entirely possible that there's something that's changed in the last month or however long it's been, a couple weeks since we were down south building for quite a while. Yeah, like I said, all the switches should be good to go. Really the whole way up. So I'll be quiet while we make some more noise. Hopefully. All the brakes should be off. I did double check that. And if you see that other car, leave a comment. I'm going to be eyes peeled for it. All right, let me give it some juice. We don't have water temperature. Let's try to see if we can't get up the steepest part, and we'll stop. All right, there we go. Full of wood anyway. Let's hope we can get started again. We didn't let it get down too far, so we have some pressure, obviously. Let's give it the max to get it started. This will be rolling while that temperature's building up. Everybody still with us? Looks that way. Come on, temperature. Trials and tribulations. Come on. Racing each other. We're not going to make it. Are we going to do it without stopping? I think we're going to stop. If we weren't on the hill, I think we'd be doing okay. But yeah, and then the best thing to do at that point is just to stop. Stop. Let the pressure build up some, and then... Because otherwise, I have just sort of sat there for a minute. I didn't let it go too long, but get this back up over 100. At least, and that way we don't, especially because we're on this hill. There we go. So let's see if that won't get us going. I think they did nerf this or change this, maybe even make it more powerful, where Because there was times in the past, maybe this is just a different train too, where you could just sit there and idle in a sense, like burning off as much as you were making. Trains anywhere, that extra car is probably down in here somewhere. There it is. See it over there? Alright, I guess this is as good a spot as any other to go get it. It's not... Woo! Parachute. Bungee cord. Yeah, there you are, buddy. I was wondering where the heck you went. I assumed, I didn't look too hard because I assumed he went down over the, what do you call it? I'm assuming he went down to the smelter, so I wasn't really looking for him to be over here. Now, hopefully we can get him plopped down and not, this should be pretty. Whoa. What happened there? You see that? Now, did he disappear through the earth? Like, I didn't do anything. I didn't click any buttons. Is he still over here? Really? I did not click a thing. That was just... I don't think I'm going to get up over here. Maybe was I just too far away to... I think I can get over this way if I remember right. Yeah. Huh. Crash. All right. Fortunately, when I got done rebuilding that, I saved it. And now our trains, like the save was from right after I got done rebuilding our intersection up there, which actually I had the train that I had parked here, you know, before I went all the way back down in search of that rail car. So let's see if we can't do this again. Let's bungee cord off of this guy. And just see. I don't know what happened in particular. Is it because I was too far away? I've never really tried to re-rail something from so far away. So let's see if we can't just sort of keep it to a minimum and just go right up there. And I don't really want to do it on the bridge. I'm not sure how well that will work, but can I do it right after the bridge? Will that... No, right through the earth. There goes the crash again. All right, it crashed as soon as I right-clicked. Yep, so that car is just now gone. All right, I have another idea. That didn't crash the server that time, but it did not, like the car was just gone. So let's try something else here. So I'm going to do G and re-rail. Can I just put it like right here? Oh, look at that. No, there is definitely something bugged about that car. All right. So we're just, I don't know where it went. I don't know if there's a place that those kind of cars go, but let's put that back on all. I wish that would sort of default to all. Can I get up here? Yes. So now I just need a break. I'm going to go recollect. I think I'm going to probably, when I'm feeling back up to it, I think those other two cars should be down by the smelter. And I'll go gather them up, reattach them to the train. And I'm not sure whether we'll head back up or just, do I go all the way back down and buy another car? I really want to keep this balance, right? And the balance is almost not there's issues with the balance anyway because I already have three. I think it's beams up there or three extra rails, whatever it is. So I could actually use an extra car of beams, but we're just going to have to call it quits because otherwise it's just too much. We're already kind of over time or close to it, and yeah. So this is just sort of a fail, but I guess this is showing what we go through to get 200 barrels of oil. The good and the bad. So this was a bad episode. We failed to even get one thing delivered, but we tried hard. All right, guys, I will recollect and reconstitute our train here and get back down there and get her done. All right, guys, have a good day. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.